Hello, comrades! Welcome back to Ushanka Show, stories about life in the Soviet Union. Здравствуйте, дорогие товарищи! В эфире программа Ushanka Show, истории про жизнь в СССР. If you're new to my channel, my name is Sergey, and back in summer of 1971, I was born in the USSR.
You glorify communism, but then contradict it with your social views. Interesting.
So in today's video, I will try to answer one of the most popular questions: why in the heck Adidas brand clothing and shoes were so popular among the Soviet Gopniks. I was truly hoping that I'm done with the Gopniks topic, but I like just to touch the topic, and a lot of people demand deep penetration, so here we go. Let's talk about Gopniks once again. And first of all, I would like to point out, it's not just Gopniks that were such fans of Adidas brand. Generally, in the Soviet society, Adidas brand was like number one, and everyone wanted to wear it. Some of you may recognize this picture. It's on the cover of my book, American Diaries 1995. But actually, this photo was taken in summer of 1998. It was my fourth time I came to America. And if you look carefully, you see that I'm decked out properly. Adidas t-shirt and Adidas windbreaker. Although windbreaker I bought back in Ukraine, and it's like a knockoff. It's not firmenная одежда, as we say, not original Adidas stuff. But the t-shirt I bought in the USA. And by the way, in Soviet Russia, we don't say Adidas. We say Adidas. Adidas. And you know, I'm definitely not a Gopnik style person. I'm actually so-called achkarik, which is like a Soviet nerd, as you see at this photo. But still, when I had opportunity and money, I wanted to purchase, even without thinking, Adidas brand t-shirt, not anything else, not Nike or whatever else was available. And in order to answer the question why, почему, we need to go back all the way to 1972. It's when the Politburo Центрального комитета СССР, so Politburo of the Central Committee of the Soviet Union, they made decision to have Adidas as an official supplier for the Olympic team of the Soviet Union, and generally for all the people who's doing professionally sports in the Soviet Union. Adidas was our brand and was our supplier. So 1972. And even if we didn't have a advertising on the Soviet TV, I don't recall any. Some people said they saw some like in Baltic states. When you watched any sport competition, you see our athletes wearing Adidas jackets, Adidas shoes. So that kind of like was like an advertising. There was a symbol of victories, symbol of success. So it's kind of ingrained in the Soviet brains that Adidas is success, Adidas is cool. And remember, back in the Soviet Union, we didn't really have any like shoe brands. It was just known that, for example, in Leningrad, there was a shoe factory called Skorokhod, like a fast runner, and it was considered okay quality. Then the different factories maybe not okay quality. So people were looking where shoe was made and based their purchasing decision, was it worth it or not, but we didn't have any brands whatsoever, except Adidas. And the only sports shoes that I remember was so-called kedi, so that's what they call in America keds. And that was the only shoe you buy, and you would wear them in gym. And I mean, you could wear all over the place, but I really never had a sneakers in my life during the Soviet days. They were just not available for purchase, just kedi, the kids. So the only way you could get hold of Adidas shoes would be like if your relative is an Olympic sportsman, somebody in the sports field, and they get their shoes given to them. And then I heard stories that people actually would be exercising in some Soviet shoes, and they prevent Adidas shoes from being worn out, and then they'll say, well, I need a new pair, and then they will give it to their relatives or maybe even sell it. And of course, people who could travel to the West for work or even for the tourist purposes, all the same sportsmen, they were able to bring a pair or two of Adidas shoes to sell and make good money, because on the black market, just a pair of Adidas sneakers would be sold for like 200 rubles. It's more than a monthly salary for the Soviet engineer. And then Adidas shoes became even more popular after Olympics in 1980 in Moscow. Remember that one was boycotted by the United States because of Afghanistan debacle. So after that, we did really well. I mean, Soviet athletes, because we had way less competition, and the Adidas brand was on every screen. So then people really wanted to have some Adidas shoes, and Soviet government actually made a contract with Adidas to manufacture shoes in several large cities, including Kiev, Moscow, Leningrad. And of course, they didn't manufacture enough of those, so people were willing to pay premium up to 100 rubles per pair, although retail price was like at around 30 rubles per Adidas pair, like Soviet manufactured shoes. They'll bring all the supplies, I believe, from Germany and just assemble them in the Soviet Union. I remember we had this kind of funny saying: «Сегодня носит Adidas, а завтра родину продаст». Today he's wearing Adidas, and tomorrow he will sell his motherland. So that would be like if you saw all over Western brands, the comrade that could be trusted. I also remember we had a super popular song in the early 80s called «Uchkuduk tri kolotsa», and it goes like this: «Uchkuduk tri kolotsa», and blah blah blah. But it's name of town Uchkuduk, and it had 3 wells. So tri kolotsa, it's 3 wells. And people redid that song to Adidas 3 poloski, Adidas 3 stripes. Sound really close. So I remember singing that. Adidas 3 poloski. So we had this kind of unique situation that pretty much everyone in the Soviet Union, mostly young people, were hardwired, wanted to have Adidas brand shoes, jacket, whatever. So we even didn't know anything about any other brands. So people who were working on bringing Western goods, sailors, as I said, workers who could travel to the other countries, there was no reason for them to bring anything else. I mean, I don't know what other brands were available back in the day, Puma or Asics or Nike, because everyone knew Adidas and they wanted just Adidas. It reminded me of the story I read quite a few years ago. It's about the lawyer here in the United States. So he was helping to defend big cigarette companies during the lawsuits, and he made a lot of money doing it. So he bought a Bentley car, and he decided to go back to his little hometown, I don't know, Nebraska or Iowa, whatever, to show off kind of. So he drove his Bentley, and he was extremely disappointed because when he drove through town in his nice shiny Bentley, no one knew that brand. So people were looking at each other like, what kind of car, what kind of Buick is that? So they see just the big B letter on the grill, and they just were surprised to see this weird looking Buick. So similarly, Soviet people didn't know any other brands but Adidas, just like those farmer guys didn't know anything about Buick. And then situation changed quite a bit after the collapse of the Soviet Union. Borders got open, people started bringing, like by semi-trucks, goods from the West. Different brands showed up, and that's when attitude changed slightly towards Adidas brand. I remember in the early 90s, maybe 92 or 93, we had a Reebok company store open right downtown, Firmenny Magazine, and the shoes were like starting from $100 a pair, which was a lot of money back in those days. Like my salary as a Soviet engineer, Ukrainian engineer, at that time was $20 a month, and a pair of Reeboks, but original ones, real ones, not a Chinese knockoff, was $100 pair, and that was cooler than to have Adidas. Used to have those cool Reeboks. They were like a really thick outsole, and I remember people walking around. They had leather jackets and they had Reebok shoes. Those were cooler than Adidas, and it's quite possible same thing happened in Moscow. But when I came to America in 1995 for the very first time, and I purchased real good sneakers for the very first time in the local, I don't know, it was some kind of like Finish Line or some kind of sports shoe store, I purchased black Reeboks. I still remember, if you read my book, American Diaries 1995, I talk about it. It was $53 on sale. Maybe one of the reasons was because it was on sale, and of course there was because it was Reebok. At that time I wanted Reebok, and I bought those black Reeboks you could see on this picture. Then I'm trying someone else Honda motorcycle, but yeah, this is the shoe I bought in the United States when I came back in 1995. But my second pair, what I purchased in the United States, was Adidas. White shoes, 3 stripes, just like it's supposed to be. And now we're going back to the Gopniks. So what I think happened is, the society moved on. We discovered new brands, so most people found they like other shoes better. Ladies went for Versace's and whatever fancy brands. Guys went for something else. Gopniks stayed with Adidas, and then it kind of became kind of like, well, this is what you do. If you're hanging out with us, you're supposed to wear black striped pants with 3 stripes. You gotta wear a black Adidas shoes. So that's kind of became their status, kind of symbol of having that lifestyle of Gopnik is to be all decked out in Adidas. And I moved on as well. I like Puma for like casual shoes. That's what I have. And then for running, I tried different brands, tried Brooks, and now I'm a Solomon guy, which also I believe Adidas owns, just like Reebok. So, but I don't care about my t-shirt says any brands, but my running shoes now are Solomon's, and my going out shoe, kind of those casual ones, are Pumas. But if you're stuck in the past, you're gonna like Adidas. And I think one of the reasons why I kind of drifted away from Adidas is these images of Gopniks wearing Adidas was kind of like, no, I don't want to look like those guys. And I subconsciously went for the different brands, and I really like the looks of Pumas. So I'm a Puma guy now. And before we finish, I forgot to mention, remember when I said that in Kiev they began manufacturing Adidas shoes? Unfortunately, it was hard to get those on sale. It was deficit, but there was plenty of these country skiing shoes, cross country, with this silly nose like you see on this picture, and a lot of desperate young people would buy those because they were readily available, and they will cut the nose off and they walk around all cool because they wear Adidas shoes. And of course they were extremely uncomfortable because the whole outsole like a solid brick, it doesn't bend at all, but they were willing to suffer for the looks. Well, my friends, I hope it answered your questions about Adidas and why it was so popular back in the Soviet Union and why is it still popular with Gopnik people. As always, don't forget to like this video, share with your friends, and we'll talk to you soon. До свидания. Goodbye. Hey, by the way, cool merch for cool comrades is available at the Ushanka store at teespring.com. Just a friendly reminder that my book American Diaries is available on amazon.com, or shoot me an email if you would like to have a signed copy. Thank you. And if you love my channel and would like to show your support, please click on the link below this video and become the patron of the Ushanka Show. For as little as $1, you can help us grow and create the new, interesting videos about the life and